What's up guys, got an interesting project for today. So I picked myself up a Razor Hovertrack. I believe this is the 2.0 version, has the removable battery. Bought this thing for $10 at a yard sale. Now I talked to the guy, he said it did work, it wasn't charged. Probably should have tested it out, but I figure for 10 bucks, hey, it's worth a shot. So I got it home and it is not exactly working. So we're gonna see if we can't get this thing working today. All right, so here's what's going on. Got the charger plugged in and that little indicator light is green. Now once I plug this thing into the little hoverboard here, these lights kind of flash, you heard that beep, and then nothing happens. So the charge indicator light is flashing red, and then also I believe there is supposed to be a charge indicator that's lit up here that's supposed to be working, which it isn't. Being that this thing won't charge up, I suspect that there is something wrong with the battery, which luckily for us, that's pretty easy to remove. Now one of these clips is broken, but not too big of a deal. So right on the battery, it says this thing is supposed to be 36 volts. So we should see something close to that, even if this thing is completely depleted. Now I have a feeling we're not gonna see anything close to that. Let's go ahead and check it out now. 3 volts. So yeah. There's our problem. Now what I suspect happened was that this battery wasn't charged in a very long time and it just got below the voltage that the BMS or battery management system will let it be charged at. It's basically just like a little board in here that detects the voltage of the battery, and if it gets out of whack, it cuts it off and it won't let it be charged because there's an issue with the battery. They don't want it charging, could cause a fire. So I think if we can get the voltage of these batteries back up somewhere close to that 36 volts, that BMS will allow it to be charged and we should be good to go. So the first thing we need to do is get this puppy opened, which I think is probably gonna be the most difficult part of this whole thing. On this battery, there is a little seam here. I am going to attempt to take a knife and cut that seam and pop this cap off of it so we can get access to those individual cells. Is this the proper way to open this battery? I highly doubt it, but hopefully it works. All right, we're in. Here's the setup. I got the charger plugged in. Now the actual hoverboard's plugged in, and then I'm gonna take 2 leads off of the 2 terminals inside that hoverboard. And then down here on the battery, I'm probably gonna hook up one of the leads to the actual terminal, and then there's these little spots up here. And I think if I connect the wire there, that's where the batteries are directly connected to. So that should bypass that entire circuit board and at least be able to put a little bit of charge into these batteries. So I got my 2 leads plugged into the hoverboard, and let's see if this thing is outputting any sort of voltage, which it is. We're getting around 42 volts. Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna hook this up the exact way it comes out of the board and just use the 2 little terminals on the end. This should do the exact same thing because it's basically just hooking wires up to those terminals. We're not really changing anything. Got a little spark there. I don't know, you guys, kind of strange. That light is just solid now, which should mean it's charging. Does look like it is charging this battery. So I'm just gonna let this sit for probably an hour or so, keep an eye on it, and we'll see if it charges. No way, guys, you know what I just noticed? We have charging lights on the actual hoverboard now. This is like slightly better than watching paint dry. This thing has been charging for quite some time now. We're on the last bar and it's flashing. That thing's green. So I think it is done. So I'm gonna pull that off and we'll see if we have around that 36 volts. Should be higher than that. 41, nice. I'm pretty excited, so we'll go ahead and tape this little cover back onto the battery here. We'll get that back into the hoverboard and let's see if this thing works. So I just taped that battery in just to be sure it doesn't fall out, and I guess we'll see if this thing kicks on. That's pretty sweet. Ooh. I am gonna kill myself on this thing. All right, guys, so this is my absolute first time ever on one of these things, so don't give me too hard of a time down in the comments. I get the concept, it's just, I guess the balancing. All right, I think we're getting it, Actually, not too bad. Once you get the feel of it, probably say that and I'm probably gonna fall. Alrighty, you guys, well, I'm gonna keep messing around with this thing and getting the hang of it. And once we get a little more comfortable, we'll take it out and give it a proper test. But, I mean, as of now, it's working. So I'm pretty happy. This is probably one of the best $10 I've ever spent. As long as I don't hurt myself. After doing a little bit of research, turns out this hoverboard has a recall for the GLW battery. Yes, this was one of the hoverboards that was catching on fire. Now normally, I'd be pretty upset I purchased a product that was gonna burn my house down. But in this case, I was pumped. New batteries installed into the hoverboard. It is all charged up and there is no more need for tape, so that's pretty awesome. I guess there's only one last thing to do, and that's to take this thing out, put some miles on it, and see what it's capable of. Got the hoverboard all charged up again. I'm gonna go ahead and set the Garmin and we're gonna see how far we can go on a single charge. This thing was able to make it 4.29 miles before that battery completely gave out. Now, I think that is very impressive considering that battery is so small. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Was this thing worth $10?